Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna. Amy.
And I'm Lacey G.
And today we're breaking down Kanye West's Donda. Just kidding.
How dare you?
I just really thought I would trigger a lot of people right at the beginning.
We just lost all of our listeners.
Oh my gosh, Nick, I was just staring at you with pure hatred. I'm like, what are you doing?
Donda.
I played Poopity Scoop Scoop for my little sister over the weekend, and I thought she was going to think it's so hilarious. She's like, I've heard this. I mean, she still giggled just because it says poop, but yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I know I'm not supposed to, but I do.
Okay, calm down. We're here. We're going to talk about Taylor's song, Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Saying goodbye is death by a thousand cuts.
So this is the 10th song from her album Lover. It was written and produced by none other than Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. Surprised? Surprised by this?
Can we, I think what we should do to start off this episode, I think it only makes sense for us to do the Swiftie pledge, right?
Yes.
Everybody stand up, hands over your heart. My heart, my hips, my body, my love. Trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch. Gave up on me like I was a bad drug. Now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club.
We're not
our
singing.
Songs, our films, united we stand. Our country, guess it was a lawless land. Quiet my fears at the touch of your hand. Paper cut strings on our paper thin plan. My time, my wine, my spirit, my trust. Trying to find a part of me that didn't take up. Gave it too much, but it wasn't enough. I'll be alright, it's just 1,000 cuts.
You totally sang that.
I did.
It's okay. I still screwed up some
Were
of
we
the
supposed
words.
to be monotone? Were we supposed to be monotone? I guess
Well, it's like a pledge. Like in third grade when you were doing the
I
pledge at
gotcha.
school, were you singing it?
Okay, that makes more sense.
Remember whenever you used to have to read in school and like you would-
Popcorn.
Oh, the worst.
and you would just talk as quiet as possible because you didn't want anybody to hear you, and like absolutely no inflection in your voice just because you want to sound like this the whole time.
And don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
So that's how we should do the pledge.
Yes.
I had the lyrics it says in a haunted club. Until this year, I thought I don't know why. I thought you said in an Arctic club.
Makes sense.
cold.
A cold
In
place.
a cold club.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't
That
know
does
why I
make
thought
sense.
that.
So has anyone ever heard the phrase "death by a thousand cuts" before this song
No.
was released? You never heard that phrase before? Does anyone know what it means? Did y'all look up what that phrase
Yes.
means? Isn't it nuts? So there's two different meanings. They're kind of the same. One's violent, one's not. So the non-violent one is just a process of something, and this is more what Taylor's singing about. Something changes, and then just gradually you accept it. So like the bar is kind of pushed a little bit more and more and more, and you're just eventually accepting whatever's happening. The violent one is it's a slow process of slicing people apart. It was used in China from roughly the year 900 until 1905.
Oh my God.
It was called Ling Chi. So you just kind of slowly torture somebody by just slicing a little bit of their bodies off.
And leave it to Taylor to make it sound pretty.
Yeah, right? And it was a slow process. Slow of chopping someone up.
I did see some Reddit user. The name was username Steak and Whiskey. I'm still a little disappointed that wasn't Death by a Thousand Cats. That was so cute.
Well, and now that Taylor's on TikTok, every video is cat related.
Yeah, which I
Oh.
love. I mean, her bio does say that it's a cat account. So she's holding to it.
So what is this song about, everybody?
This song is inspired by a movie that Taylor watched, and she was so touched by this movie that she decided to write an entire song about it, and we could tell you, but Taylor talks about it herself.
Oftentimes I'll write songs about my own life, but there's always flickers of other people's work that influenced me in some way. Like, I think that when people make art, other people make art. And I think that, especially women who make art, I find it highly inspiring just based on how well they told a story. And there's just something that you get from watching a good story take place. I watched this movie on Netflix called Someone Great. It's this amazing, like, well done romantic comedy with a heart and like just depth to it, because it's about this relationship that ends after like 8 or 9 years. And, you know, I read the synopsis of the movie and it's like, girl goes through breakup and like goes on a trip with her girlfriends. And I think that I'm reading this and I'm like, the movie's going to be like, get over him, girl. He's a jerk. Let's take shots. And I was like, I'm down. Like, let's watch this movie. And then you turn it on and it's this gut punch, because it actually isn't that at all. It's a movie about how she, you know, has to end this relationship that she didn't want to end because she's still in love with the person, but they just grew apart. And he's not a jerk.
There was no scandal.
It's just sad.
Wow.
Because it's just realistic. It's just, yeah, time passed and now we're different people. And that is the most devastating thing, because it's not salacious and it's deeply, deeply upsetting.
Yeah.
And so I cried watching the movie. Yep. And so for like about a week, I start waking up from dreams that I'm living out that scenario, that's happening to me. And I just will wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm writing a breakup song. Like, I'd have these lyrics in my head based on the dynamics of these characters.
How incredible is that? How deep is she that she has the ability to do that? Because I watch a movie and like the facts and the meaning behind the movie will just go right over my head, because I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm doing everything else and I'm just not paying attention. She takes a Netflix movie and a pandemic and writes songs and albums about it. I just think that is so incredible.
And characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that like later with folklore.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all watch this movie?
Yes.
No.
I did the homework last night. I was like,
Wow.
I can't talk about this song until I watch the movie.
Tell us all about it.
It's a little disappointed.
Really?
Like, she thought it was so deep, and I'm like, okay, it's an okay movie.
What? I loved it.
I mean, I loved your outfit, the red on red jean jacket.
I much like Taylor, this movie inspired me. I'm very easily influenced. I don't know if you guys knew that about me.
Mm-hmm.
When I watched this movie, there's one of the characters, one of the friends. She wears like a red denim skirt with a red denim jacket, and I thought that was the cutest thing I had ever seen.
was.
I went out and bought a red denim jacket. Never ended up finding the red denim skirt, but I have that red jacket. And I got it because somebody in this movie looked cute.
I'll never be Taylor. I don't see the depth in it. It was an okay movie.
I love
So
the
we
movie.
shouldn't take movie recommendations from Taylor Swift.
Yes,
Is that
we
what I'm
should.
getting?
Yes, we should. I loved that movie. And I think something really cool about it also is we later found out that the woman that wrote and directed the movie, Jennifer Robinson, when she was writing the movie, she was listening to 1989 on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And she said specifically the song Clean. And so if you think about it, Taylor was inspired by a movie, inspired by her music.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, once again, Taylor inspires Taylor.
Yeah, she said the most surreal full circle situation. They didn't know it at the time, but very, very cool.
Yeah.
Taylor actually talked about it.
Oh, perfect.
Fast forward a couple months later, and I'm doing the Ellen show, which I love doing. And I'm talking to her, and she asks me what movies I've seen recently, and I said Someone Great. I get this email a couple days later from this woman named Jen Robinson, and she's like, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for mentioning my movie. I wrote and directed that film. It was about my own breakup, my own life. She's like, I just wanted to tell you that while I was moving across the country, the album I had on repeat was 1989, and specifically a song of yours called Clean. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I just wrote a song based on something she made, which she made while listening to something I made, which is the most meta thing that's ever happened to me.
You know, I would like for Taylor to start referring to 1989 as Album of the Year 1989 in all of her interviews.
Yeah.
I would like her to say it.
Yeah.
I think her interview on Ellen was an Easter egg, because it was just 3 months before the album came out, and she flat out mentions the movie.
The movie already?
Yeah.
Oh, which we later found out inspired Death by a Thousand
Yeah.
Cuts.
That's pretty great.
I'm still mad that you didn't like the movie.
It was an okay movie.
You would rank it 3?
I can't. No. I'm just surprised on the inspiration from it. But I mean, come on. It's Taylor. Taylor talked about the song on NPR's Tiny Desk.
Over the course of the years that I've done interviews, I've gotten a question over and over again that I think has the potential to seriously deteriorate my mental health. The question is, what will you ever do if you get happy? Like, what will you write about? will you just never be able to write a song again? It's an interesting question. And, you know, in the like interviews, when I would get that question as a young person, and I'd kind of be like, well, I started out writing songs about stuff I had no idea about. Like, I started writing songs when I was 12 years old, and they were usually about, like, heartbreak. I had no idea what I was talking about, but I had watched movies and I had read books, and so I would grab inspiration from character dynamics, as you do. And so I would say in the interviews, like, I'd probably just do that. Like, if stuff is going on in the world that's not just happening to me, like, maybe I could get inspiration from that. But then I'd go home and I'd be like, what would happen if I was ever happy? Like, would I not be able to do the thing that I love the most in the world? Like, oh my God. Would I not be able to write breakup songs anymore? I love breakup songs. They're so fun to write. And so then I happened to be writing this album, Lover, which is a very, very happy, romantic album. And I started, like, in my life, a few of my friends were going through breakups, and we were talking. It's like those kinds of breakups where you need to talk to your friend all the time because they need to talk about it all day, every day. So I was having a lot of conversations about breakups. I watched movies that were really, like, well done about breakups. In some of the books I was reading, there were some good breakups happening. And so this all culminated in me, like, waking up one day with all these, like, heartbreak lyrics in my head, and I was like, it's still here! Yes! So I ended up writing a song that was a breakup song on the Lover album, and I was like, this song is my proof that, you know, don't have to stop writing songs about heartache and misery, which for me is incredible news.
And folklore and evermore.
I know, I was going to say, look, she's even more in love now than she was when she gave that interview, when she was wondering if she could still write when she's happy. And then, look at Evermore and Folklore. There's some deep, dark songs on those albums, like Mad Woman. And it's just like...
Well, I mean, and like Champagne Problems, like she wrote that song with Joe, like, you know, this like hypothetical situation or whatever, this really, really sad, sad, sad song. So I'm glad that she fell in love with someone who will write sad songs with her.
Aww.
That's cute.
So Taylor was a little bit worried before she had written this song. Is this going to end her career? How's it going to be for her? How can she be happy and still be successful? We're so happy that she's able to find all the above. She can literally have it and do it all. But maybe if you're struggling and you need some help and you don't have that creative outlet to go to, we have someone that you can call, and that is our friends over at BetterHelp.
BetterHelp is going to assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. And you can connect in a safe and private online environment. You can meet with your therapist right from the comfort of your own home, on the phone, or even on a video call.
And it's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. You can message your counselor at any time. When I did it once, I actually had a counselor that I didn't totally feel like I could open up with, and then they matched me with someone else that I felt like I could actually really talk to, which was great.
Send a message to your counselor anytime. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, anything you share is confidential.
And it's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available.
We want you to start living a happier life today. And as a listener, you're going to get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Taylor Swift fan. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift fan.
Also, another favorite part of mine from that Tiny Desk concert that we just heard her talk about is obviously when she does the bridge, because I saw this video on TikTok of a vocal coach, and she was talking about how this specific performance when Taylor does the bridge is all about breath control.
Ooh.
My heart, my hips, my body, my love. Trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch.
Such a mouthful.
Yeah.
Oh my
Just
God.
It's incredible. When I listen to the song, after the bridge, I start the song over so that I can listen to it again.
You can get the build up again to the bridge?
Yes.
Okay, so especially in that clip right there, I love, maybe it's like an ASMR-y thing that I just love. I love hearing people breathe in songs. Is that weird?
No, I don't think
Is that
it's
weird?
weird.
Like, I love hearing, because some songs you hear and they cut those out. But some songs you hear, just like what we just heard, and you can hear someone take a breath in between. I just love
Our songs,
hearing that.
our films unite.
And that might be why a lot of like my favorite Taylor songs, she's very breathy, and you can hear those big gasps,
Like
and it's
Dress.
really cool. And like when we just heard that just now, I was trying to like, okay, pretend like I can sing this and like take breaths when she's taking breaths. That was hard.
Yeah.
And I wasn't singing.
Yeah.
She makes it seem effortless, and it kind of reminds me of the outro of The Other Side of the Door.
And you know what? I was actually, because we've always talked about, Taylor's bridges and how she should have an engineering degree because she builds the best bridges of all time. Obviously, we know that. This song especially, like I think Death by a Thousand Cuts bridge is top tier. But
It's so good.
But last night when I was like doing like research and getting all my notes together for today, I was looking at the lyrics on Genius Lyrics, and it said that the bridge as we know it was actually verse 2.
That's what I saw too.
Right?
Yeah. I saw the exact same
And
thing.
I was like, is the website wrong, or did we just all assume it was the bridge? Granted, I've never written a song, so I don't know like
They were
what
wrong.
considers a verse
know.
versus
Maybe-
a bridge.
I don't know. Maybe that is the way her song is structured. Maybe she structured it that way, and she's just.
I was
singing
about
a
to
verse
send an
again. I
email
don't
to
know.
Genius and be like, hey.
Excuse me. But I saw that, and it was on more than just Genius's
Okay,
website.
really?
It was on several different sites. So.
But she has said that lyric is her favorite, and it's the bridge. So I mean, Taylor herself has named that as being the bridge.
Technically,
so they're wrong.
Is that whole bridge? Is that one sentence?
I'm not a grammar person.
It's a poem. It's a whole poem.
She also mentioned that what she really, really likes about that particular bridge is that it's like this ranting bridge, and basically Jack Antonoff and I like to write ranting bridges. Just call him Jack Rantonoff. we just rant on bridges. We just started doing that on a song called Out of the Woods a while ago. Like a bridge that takes the song up to the next level. Take it to a bridge city and we live there. Not a surprise that my favorite lyric would be from a bridge.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
One of my most prized possessions, like if my house lights on fire, like the one thing I'm grabbing is I have a wine glass that says "My time, my wine, my spirit, my trust." It's from Etsy. It's so cute. I love it so much. I only use it on special occasions, and I don't let guests use it.
No, you can't break that thing. So these are great theories. However, last week we had talked about how does this song, it might relate to Cornelia Street because there are some Swifties who think that Taylor was in a secret relationship with Karlie Kloss, and they're convinced that these two songs are about Karlie. Now, Taylor herself has gone on the record and said that she is not part of the LGBTQ plus community, although she supports them. She made You Need to Calm Down, but she's not a part of that community. So it's a very divisive topic amongst Swifties. To talk about it, to not talk about is something that people fight a lot. I see a lot in the comments. But here's the argument for the side that says they were in a relationship at one point, because in Cornelia Street, she's singing all about how the city screams your name. Well, that's not Joe. And Karlie Kloss, famous model, was on every billboard in New York during the time when that song and Death by a Thousand Cuts were written. Because Joe's a London boy. Doesn't make sense. So they're thinking that for these songs to be back-to-back, Cornelia Street is kind of the beginning of the relationship. And then, like, they even sing at one point about, like, hanging out till the sun comes up. And then in the song right after, she sings the sun is up and they're not together anymore. And then there's also similarities in the two songs, like in Cornelia Street and in Death by a Thousand Cuts. They both have lyrics about writing.
Filling in the blanks as we go. Why am I still writing pages?
So people are thinking, okay, Death by a Thousand Cuts, maybe it's about this relationship that they had to keep secret, which was painful. And then not only are you losing someone that you're in a relationship with when that's over, but they were also really good friends. And so it's just that slow, painful process of losing both.
These are my favorite lyrics of the song. They're desperate and sad.
They are.
Wonderful.
The
Very
traffic lights
Amy.
one?
Yes. That and the writing pages.
Writing pages.
The writing pages,
Yeah.
I think, is one of my favorite lyrics
Yeah.
also, because it kind of also reminds me of The Story of Us, which is also one of my favorite songs of hers, which like uses that whole imagery of like literally writing a story. But I did find that back in 2013 in an interview, she said relationships are like traffic lights. I feel like you can only exit a relationship if I have the green light, which I thought that was interesting, because if she really does think of relationships as traffic lights, like in the imagery, and she said that back in 2013, and she still uses
Still
that.
using it. I wonder what that means when she has the green light to leave a relationship. What does that mean?
Well, because she said before, I feel like we've talked about it on the podcast. I don't know like which song going off the top of my head, but hasn't she said that sometimes she feels like she needs like a reason to leave a relationship?
Right.
Like even in this song, when she was talking about the movie Someone Great, she was like, it's real when you grow apart, but there's not, you can't villainize the other person.
Sure.
Like it's not like, oh, he cheated on me, or oh, like you moved away, whatever. It's like, no, like you really just grow apart. So maybe that's what she means. Yellow
But
light.
I would think like red light, like red flags, you wouldn't need a green light to go. You can go on any damn color. Okay, I have to disagree with you on that one,
Well,
Taylor.
Lacey, you are not a good driver. We're not listening to you
yes.
about traffic signals
Yeah,
here.
you can go on any color. You don't need a color. You don't need flashing lights to get you through. You just you keep on going. You floor it.
Getaway
Just
car
go.
begs to differ.
Yes. We still have some fun Taylor stuff to break down, including I have a really different take from Reddit that opened my eyes. So I cannot wait to share that with you. But first, we do have to talk about something important, and that is hair.
Obviously.
Ladies, we love our hair. Guys, I'm sure you love cleaning our hair out of the sink. I mean, come on, out of the shower. But you do need to take care of your hair because maybe you've got weekend or thinning hair. And if you're among them, you're not alone. And there's a solution you can trust to deliver results. Thousands of women have taken back control of their hair with Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the supplement that I enjoy taking. I've been taking it for probably 8 months now. My hairdresser has been able to see a difference, and it is helping me get thicker, stronger, longer hair.
Nutrafol uses 2 targeted formulas for women that are clinically shown to improve hair growth and thickness with less shedding through all stages of life. And look, healthy hair growth takes time, so you're going to experience thicker, stronger, faster growing hair in 3 to 6 months.
And in a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after 6 months. So it's not an overnight thing. More than 1,500 top doctors recommended Nutrafol as an effective and high-quality solution for healthier hair.
You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com and entering the promo code TaylorSwiftFan to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time.
Plus, free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com. And don't forget to use that promo code TaylorSwiftFan. Someone wrote on Reddit, this song hits different for me. For context, I'm a teacher in the U.S. In March, when schools shut down and my state declared very early on, like March 17th, that kids would not be going back to school for the rest of the year, I was heartbroken. I felt numb. Obviously, this was written last year. I'd spent 2 years with the same group of 5th, 6th graders, and none of us got closure on our wonderful time together. We truly became a family, and our time was cut much too short. We missed out on a lot. Yes, I know it happened for everyone's safety, but the feelings are still there. Driving later that night after finding out the news, this song came on and I started bawling. It still happens now every time I hear this song. I can't forget the feeling about missing out and not being able to spend the rest of my time with those kids and all the time that I missed out on them. I know we'll all be fine, but the song really plays into my raw emotions. And she said, because the morning comes and you're not my baby, and they're not just my students, they became my kids, and suddenly overnight they weren't. Aww. And she can't pretend that it's okay when it's not.
Oh, I want to cry.
I know. So that was one that I was not expecting.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. Just goes to show that everybody interprets lyrics, to their own situation.
And how much teachers care.
I know.
I mean, that is so sweet. That is so heartbreaking, and that's so sad that she took the pandemic in a different way.
Yeah. So one of my favorite lyrics in this song, which I have a lot, the story's over when I'm still writing pages, probably number one. Mm-hmm. But something I didn't even realize until recently, when she says, I dress to kill my time, I take the long way home. Someone on Tumblr pointed out that it's like, I dress to kill, and then also kill time. Because when you are going through a breakup, you're going to have that revenge moment where you're going to look really hot. You're going to go out to the bars. You're going to find someone to hook up with, and you dress to kill. Mm-hmm. But then also when you're going through a breakup, you just want to kill your time. Sometimes you just want to take a long time getting ready so that you kill your time. But she said it in one sentence. I dress to kill my time.
Pretty great.
Your face right now.
She included everything in
a poet.
Just a few words.
She is, no doubt.
She's a poet.
What was the line, Anna?
I dress to kill my time. I take the long way home.
Before we go, are we going to pledge it one more time? I think we killed it the first time. Maybe we can do it like an actual pledge
this time we're all in agreement that we read it like a pledge.
Okay.
Read it? You mean recite it by memory?
Yes. Recite it like a pledge.
Yes. You guys can put your hand over your heart. I'm going to put my hand over the 13 that I've written on my hand. So I'm just standing. I'm standing hand in hand.
Why are you so much better than us,
That is
Nick.
I don't know.
Stop.
Fine. I'm putting my heart over my sweatshirt that says "My tears ricochet."
That's true. You are wearing that today. Okay, here
All
we
right,
go.
ready.
My heart, my hips, my body, my love. Trying to find a part of me that you didn't touch. Gave up on me like I was a bad drug.
Now I'm searching for signs in a haunted club. Our songs, our films, united we stand. Our country, guess it was a lawless land. Quiet my fears with a touch of your hand. Paper cut stings from our paper thin plans. My time, my wine, my spirit, my trust. Trying to find a part of me you didn't take up. Gave you too much, but it wasn't enough.
I'll go right. It's just 1,000.
Just 1,000 cuts.
What's so funny? I don't know. I'm the traffic light. I don't know.
Well, I think that does it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Be sure you subscribe to us wherever you are listening to this show right now. Be sure to write us a good review, hit us with 5 stars, and make sure you come back next week because I am planning out my perfect Taylor Swift concert.
Yay! Gotta go get my ticket.
It took a long time. You're going to have to save up for this concert. It's going to be a pricey ticket. I'm going to tell you that right now. And then we're also going to break down London Boy. See you then.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.